Over the years, as more and more anglers have used chatterbaits or bladed jigs, the way I fish them has changed. When these lures first came out, a straight swimming retrieve was unbelievable. Fish destroyed it. The lure was something that was new and wary bass had not been conditioned to it yet. Well, then everyone started throwing them. Well, these are my two favorite retrieves to take advantage of this incredible lure when the standard straight swimming retrieve isn't working like you hoped it would on any given day. Number one is my all-time favorite, and that is to fish it like you would a traditional jig. Keep it on the bottom and give it small hops. My goal is to have the lure just thump a few times to attract the curiosity of the bass in the area, not to thump continuously. A short hop with a thump, thump, thump is incredibly effective. And believe it or not, a bladed jig when fished on the bottom is much more snag-free than you would first think. Will it still get hung up? Well, of course, but not nearly as often as you would assume. Now, it really turns something like a traditional jig into more of a searching lure. That slight thumping action can activate a bass's senses and get them coming to investigate. When fishing it, I try to mimic a crawdad, or picture in my mind a crawdad kicking up off the bottom in a panic and then settling back down. This retrieve method accounts for probably 99% of my fish caught on a bladed jig. Now, the second retrieve is what I turn to if suddenly I feel that I'm in an area that's going to be extremely prone to possibly getting this lure stuck on the bottom and I want to cover more water and search for bass. Instead of the straight swimming retrieve, I will bounce it and twitch the lure all the way back. It's the exact same idea of how we can make any swimming lure look erratic. Those sudden changes of direction and random movement are much more likely to trigger a reaction instinct from a bass. I fish a spinnerbait the same way when coming through open water. Bounce it, snap it, twitch it, rip it, all great added movements that will not only separate you from the crowd, but feed off of a predator's instinct that a prey species is fleeing something. And of course, if you are fishing around something like wood, smash into it and you get that same random deflection and change of direction. And hey, if you want to watch a video that really breaks down a factor that can completely change our fishing on any given day, go ahead and check this one out right here. And make sure that you go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.